Heyo everybody, Haku here with my Mahou Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku predictions. Now, I'm doing a prediction video just because I have not read the source material and I have avoided spoilers like crazy, so please no spoilers in the comments or anything. And I wanted to predict who I think might live, who I think might die, etc. So I want to give some life and death predictions here. So yeah, I'll go from the ones I think are most likely to die to the ones I think are least likely to die. I'll go in that order. And I think that more than 8 may die, more than the number required, and I think we might, sorry hiccup, we might fight back against Fav or whatever, and that might add into more than 8 of us dying, but I do think that there's a very good chance that more than 8 may die. But the most dead out of the 16, Nemorine. She was the best girl, but she's already dead. So yeah. Next up, I think Tama. I think Tama will die next. This is sort of an order of which I think they'll die in a way too. I think that Tama will die next because I think that she will die to show that kindness in this world is punished. I think that she is too kind right now, and poor cute Tama, second best girl, about to get off. I don't think that she will last very much longer. After her, I'm thinking Sister Nana. If not, Nana may even die before Tama does. I feel like maybe after Tama dies, Nana will. But I feel like Nana is just too nice and kind and idealistic, and I think that her death would serve to push Winter Prison's character further and have Winter Prison more strong of a character fighting against Fav or helping the good guys. So I think that Sister Nana will have to die for the advancement of Winter Prison. Next up, I'm going to say Minael and Yunael. I think that they are, they're going to both be annoying. I think they're kind of annoying and selfish, and I think they're both going to keep being annoying and selfish for a few more weeks. And just a little bit longer, and then the two of them will die, and they'll just not be any super special deaths. They'll just be bad guys dying after they're a little bit annoying and selfish for a little longer. Next, I actually think Top Speed. Oh man, that hurts to even say. But I think that we're going to get a backstory for Top Speed actually animated out so that we can show her redemption from delinquent to being a nice, kind, caring person that we see her as today. And I think that once we have that backstory and we have all that development, she's going to die, maybe in some sort of sacrificial way, but she's going to die in order to push Ripple's character further, because I think that Ripple's character is the most likely to fight against Fav and the system and everything. And I think that she's going to push Ripple's character further by her death. La Pucelle, I think, is the next up. Another one that you guys are probably not wanting to hear me say, but La Pucelle's a knight. I think he's going to die, or she's going to die for Koyuki, 100%. And the thing is, she's Koyuki's childhood friend, and also she is Snow White's mentor. So that is, mentors usually die. Mentors die pretty often. Childhood friends die pretty often. So there is that double death chance right now for La Pucelle. So yeah, and I think when La Pucelle dies, it will push Snow White or Koyuki forward. So I think that it has a very real purpose too. I don't think that La Pucelle will die until maybe about like episode 9 out of 12-ish, or 10 out of 12-ish. She's not going to die till maybe not at the very end, but sort of close to the end. Then I think Magicaloid. Magicaloid will be one of the ones that lasts quite a while and will be selfish and trying to survive by doing anything, any means necessary, doing some bad stuff. But I think that when the time finally comes, we'll hit a point where she screwed so many people over to survive that her death could maybe be prevented, or somebody kills her and that person might have not killed her if she had been kinder and made friends. And I think that all of the selfishness is going to come back on her, and she's going to die either being killed by somebody that she could have just been friends with, or not being saved when she could have been saved if people cared more about her. So I think that's what's going to happen. And honestly, I feel like a main character like Ripple or La Pucelle might be the one to kill Magicaloid. So I could see that. I don't think Koyuki, though. I don't think Koyuki's going to directly kill anyone. So that would be the 8 I think are for sure going to die. I think those 8 are going to die. Next, I have 3 that I think are maybes. 3 that may die, but may also survive. Cranberry, I could see going either way, because I could see Cranberry becoming a bad guy late game, and having to be killed as the late game bad guy, but I could also see Cranberry just sticking through it as a good guy and maybe surviving. Ruler, I'm leaning more towards death than life. I think that Ruler could die to push Swim's character further, and also, on the other side of things, I do think that maybe the deaths of her subjects could push her to be a good guy, and then she might survive. Or even if it pushes her to be a good guy, she could redeem herself in the end and sacrifice herself and die, or she could redeem herself in the end, become a good guy, and survive. So I think that Ruler could go either way, but I'm leaning more towards death for Ruler. Cranberry could go either way, and I have no idea. I guess I'm leaning more towards death with Cranberry as well. Swim, I think is a maybe, but I'm leaning more towards life. I'm leaning more towards Swim will live, because I think Swim's going to get more development. I've already said I think she's the child from the dream with Nemarine. I think other characters influencing her like that, like Topspeed and Nemarine, I think that it's going to push her further and have her be developed more from naivety and confusion to being a more confident character. And the deaths of others are going to affect her, and I think Ruler's death might be the pushing factor to really develop her and really make certain that she is one of the ones that survives. Now, I have 5 of them that I think I'm certain will survive. 5 that I am not thinking will die under any circumstances. The first of those, and the least safe of those 5 that I think are completely safe, is the chick we haven't met yet. Just seeing her in the opening and ending and stuff, she gives me kind of the vibe that she'll be safe, especially since we haven't even met her yet. And I think maybe she'll be like a new rookie magical girl, and she might actually get taken under Koyuki's wing after the death of La Pucelle, maybe? I don't know. I just get that feeling from seeing her in the opening and ending. I don't know why, just feeling. Weiss Winter Prison's next. I think will be safe. I think she's going to be pushed by Nana's death to survive with the good guys, team up with the good guys, and fight against the system that is set up with Fav and everything. Next up is Calamity Mary. We have gotten so much stuff telling us, oh, stay away from her, she's dangerous, she's a bad guy. We've gotten that drilled into us so far that I think she's going to be a good guy. Like, they have gone so far out of their way to say she's a bad guy, she's a bad guy, she's a bad guy, that I'm thinking she's got to be a good guy at this point. So yeah, I think that because she's going from bad to good, and because we've focused on her in that sort of way, I think she's going to be safe. Next up is Ripple. I think that Ripple's going to be the one to most quickly figure all the different stuff out and fight against the system with Fav and everything, because I'm sure there's many more secrets, and I'm also sure that Ripple will probably be the one most against the system and most trying to figure out those secrets. And I feel like she's the secondary main character and probably won't die, because to me she seems like the second most important to Koyuki or Snow White. And that leads us into Koyuki or Snow White, who I think is the most unlikely to die. Not just because main character plot armor, but mostly because main character plot armor. I think she won't die, and I think she won't directly kill anyone either. She may indirectly cause somebody's death, but she won't directly kill someone. And I think that she's going to be pushed to survive by her friends' deaths, especially La Pucelle's death, but probably the deaths of just about every girl there. I think the journey of Snow White won't be one that will lead to her death as a main character. It'll be a journey of connecting with these people and how seeing all of them die pushes her to survive even more. So, yeah. Those were my predictions for who I think will die, who I think will live, and who I think could go either way, as in-depth as I could do it. I'll just go over it real quick. Again, ones I think will die, the 8 of them: Nemarine, Tama, Sister Nana, Minael, Unael, Topspeed, La Pucelle, and Magicaloid. The 3 I think could go either way are Cranberry, leaning more towards dying, Ruler, leaning more towards dying, and Swim, who I'm leaning more towards surviving. And the 5 that I'm pretty certain will be alive at the end of this show would be the chick we haven't met yet, Weiss Winter Prison, Calamity Mary, Ripple, and Snow White. So, yep, those are my thoughts, my predictions on who I think will live and die in this first ever season. I don't know if there will ever be more. I don't know if there are more light novel series where maybe there are more survival games with different sets of girls. I have no idea. But, yeah, my predictions basically for Who Will Live and Die. I've said that like a million times and I'm really sorry for it. So like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of my predictions. Tell me what your predictions are. Like I said, please, pretty please, no spoilers. Then I guess subscribe for more Mahou Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku and a bunch more. Just a ton of more stuff on the channel. That was terrible grammar. Follow on Twitter if you want as well. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel, and that is it. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you all next time.